All right. Welcome back to the Washed Athlete Podcast. This is episode 8, I
Episode 7.
believe. 7? 7. Okay. Episode 7 of the Washed Athlete Podcast. We've all had a pretty good weekend. It's been a very eventful weekend, so I guess we'll just jump right into it. It was Super Bowl Sunday. So how we feeling after the Super Bowl, guys?
I think Raj is down bad. I can tell you that much.
Depressed.
You were a maniac for picking the Bengals. And I know you just picked the Bengals to be different, but you were so close to having them win.
If Aaron Donald, love him, but if he did not get that pressure on Burrow, that would have been game.
Okay. That was wild.
And the game would have been a blowout if T. Higgins didn't rip the face mask off of Jalen Ramsey and get a 75-yard touchdown in 12 seconds. But that's neither here nor there.
But that holding call.
Okay, so I will say, as much as people like to kind of argue, it's oh, that was a bad holding call. You can't rip a defender's face mask off. And there was a no call on that. So I feel like they do end up balancing out in the end, even though it's oh, well, the Bengals got cheated. It's well, I don't know what to tell you, man. They shouldn't have even been in that. The score should not have been that at that point.
That's true. It's okay. What's his face? Jalen Ramsey was channeling his inner Eli Apple all game.
Dude, what? Okay. The alternate angle. Okay, so for context, NFL memes, gotta love them. They sent out so many pictures of the last play of the game where Aaron Donald is throwing Joe Burrow to the ground. He tries to throw it out. Running back doesn't get it. Whatever. But then down the field, Jamar Chase is 5 yards ahead of Jalen Ramsey, who is on the ground. And of course, the alternate angle, the first one that I sent to the group, it was oh, well, the ball's already out. He probably wouldn't have had time to get there anyway. Whatever. There was an argument to be made there. However, the second angle that just came out recently, Joe Burrow is being chased by Donald, and Jamar is still down the field. Jalen is on the ground. So if he had one more second, he would have been able to just chuck that thing, and no one was going to be there.
The big question is what would have happened, if he catches that ball, it's probably going to be 25. It just all depends on the recovery, but it's it's an interesting thing. I think objectively in that game, the Rams had more adversity to face than the Bengals. Because Tyler Higbee was out, Odell got injured, and I mean, there's no worse call than, well, first of all, the Bengals should have gotten an unsportsmanlike conduct call when they punched Aaron Donald in the face after he made a legal hit on Joe Burrow. So they didn't get a call there, which would have backed them up a lot. And then they also missed a blatant offensive pass interference / face mask on T. Higgins. Yeah, T. Higgins, which gave them 7 points in 12 seconds. So ultimately, I think even if it's yeah, but the holding call was bad. I was okay, so all these things broke your way during the course of the game.
Yeah.
And y'all still couldn't win the game.
Yeah.
And even if the hold isn't called, the Rams still have an opportunity on fourth down.
Yeah,
to still convert. It's not like it was that game. The game would have been over. It's no, the game would not have been over.
They still had a shot.
Yeah.
For all they know, they were just going to throw it to Cooper Kupp against Eli Apple again. So
again,
it really wasn't going to make a difference. He's getting in the end zone whether you like it or not.
Exactly.
Oh my god, the NFL meme quotes after.
I genuinely have never seen a more united front on the internet than after Eli Apple decides to roast New Orleans, New York, a bunch of the places that he's played for, whatever. And the people, I don't know why he went after the city itself of New Orleans, but we'll ignore that part. But the internet is a very interesting place, but there's always one thing. People are going to argue about stuff. Not with Eli Apple. They dragged him through the mud. Every single person. And these were
and then you just have Lamar posting a picture of him smoking
smoking
that was honestly the best part.
Listen, when you
call out the
I'm
city.
not. Like why would you say that? You're a professional athlete. Like making tons of money. Like you're putting yourself. He's not even a bad quarterback. Like everyone likes to talk about him getting burned, and he does get burned sometimes. But a lot of quarterbacks get burned in the league. He's like an actual like I would say above average.
He's fine.
Slightly above average cornerback in the league. But
Yeah.
he is so made fun of because he says ridiculous stuff and thinks of himself as like cornerback number one, and he's just not that guy. Like and then I was talking to Raj in physics today, and like then McCole Hardman is going on and posting, but it's like, McCole, why are you posting? You got sent home. You guys scored 0 points in the second half, and Eli Apple was on the defense. He like
And,
posting his Super Bowl ring. I was like, yo, when you won that Super Bowl ring, Joe Burrow wasn't even in the league.
like the best part about that was Mecole Hardman probably didn't do like the most to win that ring for the Chiefs. Like it was all Mahomes and Kelsey and Hill,
Oh, yeah.
honestly. Like he's just like one of those like supporting casts. Like, yeah, I won a ring. Now I'm gonna just go on Twitter and like talk some hot
Flex.
stuff to Eli.
Yeah. Oh my god. Or how about the who was the Bengals player that ran onto the field during their first touchdown? That was okay, first of all, like
Javon Hargrave the third or something like that.
Yes. So like look, I get it. Like you have every right to be unbelievably excited. Your team just scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Like whatever. That's fine. But stay on the bench. Like you are running out onto the field. He's got a hoodie on, flip-flops, and he still had his phone in his pocket. That's why like when he's like jumping up and down, he's like holding his pocket. It's like, dude, what are we doing?
I think he hit the gritty too.
Oh my god, I didn't see that one.
He might have hit the gritty, and even
the entire defense did.
Oh
yeah, it was just the Bengals hit the gritty more times than they probably scored touchdowns.
Oh, that's tough.
All I'm saying is OBJ's moonwalk's not talked about enough. That shit was clean.
It's not. You're right. Way to bring that up, because for sure the OBJ moonwalk was not talked about.
With cleats on grass. Like, come on now.
Yeah. Because he did during it might have been during his rookie season with the Giants.
Yeah.
He hit a full like Michael Jackson, like where he like does the move and then puts the hat on, which was like one of the most filthy celebrations I've ever seen in my life. So he's coming back to the moonwalk. Love it. Absolutely love that.
Like, I would say one word to describe Super Bowl is bittersweet, only because like I love Odell. I love Aaron Donald. So happy they got a ring. Love those two. But this is the bitter part. It's that Cincinnati did not win for Harambe. And this was the one chance to get back on the right timeline. And, you know, it just didn't happen. And we're screwed. Like, that's it. That was our last hope. It's over. We're done.
So for those listening who don't know about the timeline, Peter would like to explain where we went wrong in this world.
So I think that we actually did say this on the pod. I think it might have been.
We did mention it. It was like it was low key, but this is like a working theory.
Yes. So this is a working theory that's like it's been on the internet. I'm not taking full credit for this, but I am going to explain my theory because I fully believe this. So
if you are listening to this, so you heard it from us, just let people know.
Exactly, you heard it from me. You heard it from the Watch the Athlete podcast. We're going to take credit for this now. So what the running theory is that. I feel like it's almost a consensus that like after Harambe died back in 2016, I think that was.
Yes.
It felt weird after that. Like everything in the world kind of just started getting weird, and it didn't make sense at all. Like why things were happening the way they were. Everything just seemed to go downhill. So the running theory is that the death of Harambe is essentially a flashpoint or the nexus of a different timeline. So after that moment, after Harambe died, we are now not on our original timeline. We are now on another one, a much worse timeline, in fact. And we've had to live for that for the past, 6 years now?
Yeah.
But because the Cincinnati Bengals said before the game that they were doing this for Harambe, it was a possibility that if the Bengals won the game, it might have been able to put us back onto the correct timeline, and the world wouldn't go to, for lack of a better term. But now that the Rams have won, I kind of hoping that we can just move forward and that World War III doesn't happen and that we don't have to get drafted, but we'll see. because I don't know how else we're gonna be getting back on that good timeline.
Things are not looking up.
Yo, I just thought about it. We could theoretically there is a world in which all 5 of us could get drafted. We
Yeah.
all have like birthday. I think that's how they do it, like the birthday chunks.
Yeah.
Like our birthdays are not that far away from each other. Like
No,
we
we
are.
in 3 months.
No, we're all winter, like December
are
to March.
we are gonna be bumping Meek Mill, Kendrick, Kanye on our way to the Ukraine. You know it. Let's go.
I'm in the trenches. Relax.
We're gonna be in the back of the van, just like hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished?
Yeah, just opening the helicopter doors. It's our fortunate son. Dreams and nightmares.
Dude, I can't wait to hit my 15 kill streak and drop in like AC 30
Okay.
or something.
All right, Raj. Okay.
What? This isn't Call of Duty?
Oh my god. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
play
Meanwhile,
play some DNA by Kendrick Lamar.
yeah. Meanwhile, Raj is gonna go up against like some 18-year-old Russian kid who's been fighting bears his entire life. Like, you're gonna get your pack smoked, bro.
Smoking that ride
how's he
back.
drop shotting like that?
See drop shotting.
Slide canceling.
Wall
Wall
slide canceling.
They start wall running on us.
Yeah, he just hits a YY off of a bear. Yeah, it's gonna be
Yo,
incredible.
plate up.
Oh my god, shut up.
Yeah, but now
So
we're not in a
cursed.
good. Now we're not in a great place about that. I mean, the Ukraine situation is controversial, but also another controversial issue that happened during the Super
Yes.
Bowl was the halftime show. And there's a
Yes.
lot of mixed reactions, and I'm going to start us off with just saying the difference in like your age for this Super Bowl show in particular has everything to do. All like the people who are like in their like mid 30s to like mid 20s loved it because they like grew up with that type of music. And they're like that was the greatest thing ever. But like I'm kind of neutral. Like I thought it was entertaining. Like the music was good, the performance was weak, and I wanted a lot more
Yeah.
when I left it. But what was everyone's thoughts on the Super Bowl show?
Well, for me, I completely agree with you, Justin. The music itself was incredible, but the performance, it was like fine. Like it really wasn't anything like super special to it. It kind of just felt like a normal concert where it's like, yeah, like you have like some like people like they're gonna go up together, they're gonna do their good songs, and they're gonna leave. It's like it didn't really feel like a time show. Like there really wasn't any like spectacle to it, I felt like. Like, yeah, 50 Cent was hanging upside down at one point, but like that's the only thing I really remember for like spectacle wise.
And almost anyone can do that. I mean, Eminem just like walked up to the top of the trailer park and was just like singing on top of it. Like he didn't actually do anything.
Yeah, and like they just had too many people. Like because they had Kendrick Lamar and Eminem do like 1 or 2 songs, and then that was it.
And
It's like-
I think it was one each.
Dre
Yeah, it was
and
like-
Snoop
it was
had
one each.
2, and then Mary
Yeah.
J. Blige had 1, and 50 had 1.
Or maybe Kendrick had. I think Kendrick had 3, but he didn't
It
do
was like a
all of them. He
medley
just did like
kinda.
parts. Yeah, he did like
Yeah.
parts of them. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, you have these incredible artists. Like, let them work. Like,
Yeah.
let them do their thing.
Yeah, I have a decent amount to say about the halftime show. I mean,
Mhm.
all those artists I love. They're phenomenal artists. Kendrick, he is the rap goat, no question. He's the GOAT. Eminem, also a legend. Dre, Snoop, legends. Everyone that performed there is a legend. But here's the thing, like the first problem was that there's too many of them for just a halftime show. Like a halftime show is something that you want one person, like probably 2, you can make it work. Like Bruno Mars, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Shakira, J Lo, they made it work. But 2's like the max of I think you can have for a halftime show because you don't want everything to seem like forced and together. You want the artist to actually like have a chance to really like have like a concert, like a good performance. You know, perform some good songs, not just
Have
one
chemistry, yeah.
and be one and done. Yeah, and yeah. So I think that had they done like just Dre and Snoop or just Kendrick and Eminem or just something like that, that would make it better. But also the thing is with them, the like lyrical rap artists, like I listen to music all day long. I love it so much, but the thing is for like a Super Bowl type performance, I feel like just pop is more the norm. Not the norm for that, but like just a better fit for it, or rock or something. I don't know, or some more generic type rap because I feel like it's hard to really explain it, but it's
No,
like
I know what you're saying because I think when you look at even like it shows in Eminem's song, like Eminem has a lot of lyrical rap that he'll
Yeah.
sing occasionally, but they played Lose Yourself because that's not a lyrical rap song as much. And it's because like they needed a show factor into it.
Mhm.
They need like some kind of bang. And just like for reference, I mean, it's a lot different because like I went to the Billie Eilish concert about a week ago, and the spectacle that's put on there is way bigger than Super Bowl, and it can be because it's indoors and like it's a whole well thought out plan they have done for like a really long time. They're doing the same thing on the whole entire tour, but when you look at someone like Billie Eilish, who's a pop artist, and like the spectacle that was going on at that show, it is way grander than what they did at the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
And that's kind of an issue. Like I'm not saying it needed to be like on Billie Eilish concert level, but it needed to at least like be in the ballpark, and it wasn't because
Mhm.
I mean I remember watching Lady Gaga, and everything they did was big. Katy Perry, everything they did, like they brought this giant lion or tiger onto the like this. Katy Perry was riding this Lady Gaga jumped off the roof of the
Yep.
dome. Like she dropped in like Fortnite, and then like just like all these other like even Justin Timberlake had all those like mirrors on the stage, was like it was annoying, but like he had them all out there. So just I think they didn't have the performance, and I don't think it's a hot take to say the two biggest artists. Maybe I had the wrong perception. I think the two biggest artists that were there were Eminem and Kendrick, and they were tied for the least amount of songs.
I would definitely say the most like relevant towards our demographic, or like I would say out of the artists there. And yeah, I need to rephrase what I said earlier. I think the only problem really was that you can't squeeze that many artists into one Super Bowl show. And as for like matching that Billie Eilish level set, like the thing is, the Super Bowls, it's an interesting thing to really do that because you have a little bit of time to set it up compared to like a concert where you have like a whole planned out set. Like I know when Travis Scott had his whole Astro World tour, he had like roller coaster around like the stadium and like he had like a whole setup. So I think that is hard to match, but they definitely could have done better. Like as you said with Justin Timberlake, he had the whole mirror thing, but then I think that ties back into minimizing the number of performers because you can have something that like is like fits all of just fits like the two performers or the one performer. Like they had like some generic set that could fit all of them, but not something that is just like a set for them. Like if you know what I mean. Like how
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake had the mirrors.
Mhm. Well, because they even for the 2020 halftime show, that was like Shakira and J Lo. They changed out like that stage
Yeah.
like multiple times. Like there was some
Yeah.
crazy stuff. And again, this was all like pre-COVID, so like they could probably do a lot more with
Right.
it. But it like and of course maybe I'm a little bit biased. I love that halftime show, but like
Yeah.
that
Shout out
felt
to
like
that halftime show.
like that felt like more of a show versus like just
Yeah.
like a concert. Because
Right.
again, like I loved all of those artists, but it's like they didn't really do anything. Like it was kind of just like they just stood there and like said they sang their songs and like, that was it. Like
No, that's
okay,
the best way to put it. It's like it was more of a
yeah,
concert than a show.
yeah,
That's definitely a good way to put it.
and it's like it was good, but
Yeah, I think it almost like mirrored the football game in a sense that there was like no pizzazz or no like wow factor to the Super Bowl like performance. Like they were just all like vibing out at this like trailer park with some cool dancers, but they didn't do anything like outstanding. And if like you could like they had to zoom in very closely on the artist for us to like enjoy it. Like I remember they would take pretty much a blimp shot of the show from previous years because you could just see like the grand
yeah,
scale of what was going on versus like we were getting close-ups of Eminem singing Lose Yourself, and I'm like trying to think about like with such a small set, like if you were actually at the Super Bowl, what did you see, and did you see anything really?
Yeah.
yeah. Like I don't know what you would see.
I also do have a question for you guys. Like, who would you guys say was the highlight of that performance? For me personally, I think it was Kendrick because I think the way he came out and like that small spotlight he had, I think he killed it. I think to me he was the highlight of the performance.
When he was the one singing Dr. Dre,
Well,
Dr. Dre Day or whatever.
still Dre.
Still Dre. I don't. They were in like the boxes, like the black boxes.
I think that was Kendrick. I
I
think
think
Yeah, I
that's,
think it's
the
good.
box set. The box set was
boxes were
Kendrick. The
Kendrick.
box set was
Yeah,
Kendrick. Yeah.
I think that was the best section of the
Yeah.
That's what
of
I'm
the
saying.
yeah. So I think that was
all right. And did he?
Eminem's not
Bad
a
City.
performer like that. Like he did his. It's just like not his
Yes, that's
thing.
one
He's
thing
kind
I will
of
say.
just kind of like yelling.
Eminem
Lose
is
yourself.
not a performer. He's not a performer.
And he didn't do Rap God.
But
No,
Why
which
was
is
he even
sad.
there? Why was he there? Like, what are we doing?
yeah, he's a talented guy. He's a genius. Like an insane lyricist, but he's just not a performer.
Or like they didn't even try to like do anything to make him a performer. It was just kind of like, yeah, stand, sing, lose yourself, and that's it. It's like,
Yeah.
well, then why is he there? Like,
Yeah.
you had him do one song, part of one song. Like,
Yeah.
what? He was like
Yeah.
one of like the first people they listed. Like when the Super Bowl thing came out, it was like
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg, Eminem. Like, he was like one of the headline guys.
I think they could have just done better songs for Eminem too. Like I was just like just for a whole entire show. Like I felt like with how the show was going, it was very evident he would probably sing "Lose Yourself," which is like I wanted it to be a wow factor. Like I was talking to him yesterday, like less known song, but like "When I'm Gone" would have been a cool thing to like kind of mix up the pacing, like kind of slow it down a little bit, have a good vibe with the crowd, whatever. I think "Not Afraid" would have been
Yes.
a better pick for the Super Bowl. I think "Till I Collapse" would have been a better play for the
Yep.
Super Bowl.
The one
So
that
I think
I
"Lose
know.
Yourself" is an interesting play.
The one that I wish they like had him like, because you know how they have like usually they have like some of the like surprise guests on like the Super Bowl
Yeah.
or whatever. Which like, by the way, Anderson .Paak was just playing the drums. Andres pointed that out to me.
I was like, so they have Anderson .Paak just on the drums.
Like, what the hell was the point of that? Like, you have an incredible artist just there playing the drums, didn't say a word. Like,
You didn't have time to say a word because there were so
Like-
many other people.
it's
Dude's
just
got
like,
a voice. Let him sing something.
exactly, but it's like okay, I guess we're just ignoring that. But they should have had it where it was like, okay, we have like all these classic artists, whatever, and then you have one of those big artists as like, oh, the surprise guest, whatever. So what I think would have been a cool thing is like they don't say Eminem's in it, whatever, and then they play Slim Shady. It's like, will the real Slim Shady please stand up? And then it's like introduces Eminem. He comes in and does like a set. It's like that would have been great.
Yeah.
But no, we just like, yeah, put everyone in there. Everybody knows what's going on, and it's like, what was the point? Like,
Just
Hey,
fan
that's-
service, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, considering what we're like 20, like, we didn't really grow up with their music, but like the people who were in their 30s, like my cousins, they were loving the halftime show because that's like what they were like listening to like all the time. So, like, I think that halftime show was just like crazy fan service in real life, basically it.
That's a good take on that. I think that's pretty accurate. I just think like it's just frustrating because like I really do think if they were like Eminem and Kendrick, those are the guys. I think the show could have been really good.
that
They could have done so, even though Eminem's not the best performer. I still think they could have done something really cool.
Yeah.
Like Kendrick didn't sing "Humble."
or DNA or like any of his other
I
songs.
mean,
like
he did sing all right and
Mad City.
to be fair. So,
But like,
the Humble, I think, because that's I would say that's his most famous song. So I feel like
yeah.
that's got to be an essential. But like,
They
yeah,
could have had such a cool like they could have had a ton of people out there like doing hip hop dancing and it would have looked dope.
yeah. They could have. What they could have done is honestly, because they had what 5, 6 performers, they could have spaced like pairs of like who performed yesterday across like several Super Bowls.
Easily
Well-
could have done that.
Well, yeah, but I think the problem was the Super Bowl show being headlined by Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre would not be that good. They were like throwing as many people in it as possible to be like, oh hey, if you don't really care for Snoop that much, here you can like root for Eminem. Like they tried to like throw everything
yeah,
in there.
yeah.
But I don't.
But
I think the bigger. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say like you could have paired Snoop Dogg with like Eminem or Snoop Dogg with Kendrick Lamar. So it's like you
Ooh.
have kind of like more of a performer, and then you have like this other kind of like sort of like more like chill artist. Like I'd say Snoop Dogg's like not like the most like aggressive artist, whatever, but like he'd be a good pairing with like another.
Or I mean, what they definitely could have done is that because the Super Bowl is in LA, have all like the West Coast artists perform. Like I know Dre, Snoop, and Kendrick are all from the West Coast. So
I was just waiting for
that.
the Tupac hologram to show up.
I don't know why
They
that
did
was a
sing a
thing.
Tupac song.
No, there's like an actual like Tupac hologram that showed up at some like music festival.
They were just like, "Yep, they're just gonna do it again."
I mean, I expected it. I was like waiting for it. West Coast rap, might as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I
We've
think
talked about
Mary
this in the
J. Blige-
past, but I think it's interesting. Like we every year the Super Bowl show gets criticized by a lot of people, and I think
Oh, yeah.
artists don't want to do it. I think it's like the bigger issue with the whole entire show is genuinely artists don't anymore want to perform the Super Bowl show because there are timer constraints, there are set restraints, there are things they can't do for like an outdoor like rolling out the setup in like a 10-minute time frame before they perform, and they know a ton of people are watching it. It's pretty much like performing a concert for like 100 million people, and it gets, no matter if it's like even the Lady Gaga show, like where I consider that the best Super Bowl show, like I think a lot of people still really disliked it for like no reason, but like a lot of
Yeah.
people disliked it, and they just get so much hate that like I just don't even think like the big pop artists now would perform if given the chance, because I mean I don't know if it's because of legal stuff, but like Justin Bieber hasn't been on the Super Bowl show, I don't think, which is pretty shocking at this point.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Ariana Grande hasn't ever made an appearance in a Super Bowl show.
Yeah,
Has Kesha made an appearance in a Super Bowl?
dude, that's a crime that Kesha has not been on it. Oh my god.
Yeah, so just like thinking of popular artists, I'm like, there's no way like I'm the only one who thinks these artists would be good at the show, and they haven't reached out. So I feel like the artists just don't want to do it, and they'd rather go on like a regular tour. They'll make a lot more money. They can do
Yeah.
exactly what they want to do.
Yeah, I think that's
So-
definitely it. It's all the constraints they have, the time limit, and like I feel, and also I feel like the biggest thing is that I feel like there's more criticism surrounding it than like praise,
Mhm.
especially nowadays. Like I hear more negative things than positives.
Yeah, because it also depends on the show. Because like, if it's like not the greatest thing ever, immediately you hear where it's like, "Oh, the halftime show was terrible." Like, you only hear like the negative parts about it. Like, even if the show's good, people just complain about it. Like,
Right.
they just find things to be mad about it. It's like, just enjoy something, please.
I mean, going on Twitter, like I didn't see that many like negative things on this show. Granted, I was just looking at, is there? Because I was just looking at latest, and I just saw people saying, "Yo, this thing's like crazy."
Well,
But
if you peep NFL memes and then
Oh, well.
go and find that one, go and find
Yeah.
that post from them. Those are the people that hated the show.
Yeah,
That's-
okay, that's
I
true.
don't know, I'm missing something, but like I feel like the weekend got so much hate last year,
Mhm.
and this show is not getting a lot of hate. Now I think some of it is also like the divide about who is on Twitter at a given time. Twitter's a lot more like millennials, like 20 to 30-year-olds in our generation, and I think they appreciated this show a little bit more. But that being said, like I thought the weekend and this show were probably pretty average, like probably like, pretty like on par with each other. I'd rank them in like a similar tier or something. But the weekend has been getting clowned for years, for the last year, about their Super Bowl show, which was made during a pandemic, by the way, and they had no fans in the stands. So like, or they had very little. Oh, they just had the healthcare workers.
Yeah, because it was
fans.
Tampa Bay. They definitely
Yeah,
had fans
yeah,
there.
they had fans,
Yeah.
yeah. But like they just did, like it was just COVID. It was weird to perform. Weekend getting all this hate, and then this show that I thought like had no sort of production value whatsoever
Mhm.
is getting like praised, and now I feel like I have to like I hate like being rude to like the performers, but like I feel like I need to like push back
It's constructive criticism.
yeah, I need to push back on the performance I don't want to push back on, because everyone I think is unfairly grading past shows compared to this show. I don't know. The Super Bowl I get a little fired up about the Super Bowl halftime show. There's like I feel like there's a lot of layers and just like a lot of like wrong opinions.
There's a lot of wrong opinions.
I think the weekend show is overhated, and also got to plug the shout out for the weekend. Not caring about what the Grammys did to him for performing, so shout out to Abel. Shout out to the weekend.
It was a crime that he didn't. Not even getting into that.
Yeah,
Like, just
shout out to the weekend.
oh my god.
You're a talented man.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. I mean, it was a good halftime show. Like those Costco pizzas ended up being really good. I was shocked.
Yeah, we
Shout
loaded
out,
up.
yeah, shout out Costco. It is literally the
Okay.
greatest place ever,
18-inch pies for $10. I'll take it.
dude. That was absurd. Like
That was,
that,
like
The comically
those
large
slices weren't
pies.
even like it wasn't even cut into eighths. It was like 16ths, and they were still like big.
I think it might have been like twelfths.
12ths. Jeez.
Yeah,
I
it was sliced really. It was cut really weird.
It was cut weird, but like they were big pieces. Yeah, you're right. It's 18-inch pizza for $10. That is absurd. That is so. It is so much food.
Costco's a cheat code for parties.
It really is. I absolutely love everything about Costco.
Does this mean we
It's
get a
small.
Costco sponsorship?
Dude,
I'll
if we
take it.
got a Costco sponsorship, I could die happy. Like,
Yes.
my life would be complete.
We can start like filming every podcast like with us eating a chicken bake and
Or just like
Yeah.
in a Costco. Like
I'll
we
do
just
that
make
too.
a studio
go.
in the Costco and just like have the banner behind us.
the Kirkland
A
poster. in the
live
back.
instead of like music playing over like in the Costco, it's just us live recording the podcast.
And then we can
Sit-
start
we-
advertising the Kirkland NFTs.
Yes, the
We
Kirkland
could sit on top of washing machines, like in the washing machine
Yes.
aisle, just like
Just
Try
walk
and
around,
see
interview people like for the podcast, like just have segments.
yeah.
Oh,
That-
God.
Listen,
Shout out
if
Costco.
Costco, if you're listening, like hit
Listen,
some home.
I'm gonna
hit
hit
some
up.
homies up. Like
I'm gonna hit up the creator of Costco, not the current CEO, because the creator of Costco is a G. Because he threatened the current CEO, because the current CEO was gonna raise the price of hot dogs from like $1.50 to like maybe $3 or something like that. He was gonna raise it, and then the creator of Costco said, "I will kill you if you raise the price of the hot dogs," which is
That's awesome.
so funny
That's
that
awesome.
this really old guy, whatever, is threatening someone's life over the price of hot dogs. It's like that is the man that I want to talk to.
Yes.
That's the man that's going to sponsor this podcast. Oh boy.
And guess what? It's midnight.
It is
You-
Wordle o'clock, baby.
So
Yeah.
to everyone watching the podcast right now, we promised on this late night after dark episode
The pod
recording that
after
we were
dark.
gonna sit on this podcast and do the Wordle. If you
Oh
have
my
not
God.
played Wordle before, where have you been? But we're gonna sit down and play
Yeah,
this Wordle
exactly.
real quick, and we are not gonna spoil what the word is, but we will try to commentate, I guess, throughout it to make it as entertaining as four guys doing the Wordle
Doing-
on
Have
their
you-
phone can be.
I got one
Yeah.
letter.
Already on my
Okay,
third try. I
wait,
got
have you guys seen the YouTube video that apparently has the best opener for Wordle? A dude
Yes.
ran an algorithm. Like
I
it's
saw
like
that.
it's like a bot that, or it might have been an AI actually.
He
that like
he coded a program that like would
Yeah.
solve like Wordles, and like it was doing pretty well.
yeah, it was like he was able to get it down to like a certain like it was I think it might have been it was like a learning algorithm. I think you're right. Yeah. It was this like crazy advanced like system that he was able to put around, and it was just like trying to find like the best word to put in first for Wordle. And like those are like the channels that I love the most, that are just like people put in like so much effort for like the simplest task, and it's just so funny. Oh boy.
I'm down bad right now after two
I'm on my
attempts.
fourth. I'm on my fourth with two
Oh,
green
boy.
letters.
I'm still on my second guess.
I'm-
Y'all are rushing this.
I'll
Fourth with
try
two
to-
green letters.
I'll try and just keep talking so you guys could just go figure it out, and I'll just try and catch up later because I have my good opener.
It is really crazy how much Wordle has like swept the nation. I love when these like lightning in a bottle type things like come
Yeah.
to rise. It's
so
really
fun.
fun.
Well, yeah,
All I'm
because like
saying is, Justin and I were playing what was it? Wordle? Like it was the geography one.
Geography, yeah.
World.
That was fun.
That was a fun one. That was a fun one.
Yeah.
I'm on my. This is my 20th day in a row playing Wordle. Actually, I was
20th
looking at my
day in
streak.
a
Yeah,
row.
I'm on
Get
day
this,
20
get
right
this
now.
man a trophy.
I'm on day 20.
K20.
It's like the Captain America. It's like the Black Panther. Like get this man a shield.
Get this minute medal.
I only have one loss, and it was my first day playing because I was like, I don't know what the hell this is. I'm just gonna guess around. I'm just gonna keep guessing because I don't know. I want to know what the word is, and I had no patience, so I just fumbled on day one, and then I started going try hard and haven't lost since.
Gonna go try hard.
Yes.
Oh, I just had a huge round. We're back.
We're back in it.
I'm struggling. I'm struggling. I'm
Donkey
stuck
isn't a
in these
word.
two.
I'm kind of mad.
What?
Danke. Whatever the German word is. DNKE.
Danke. Oh, Donka. Donka.
Danke. Yeah. I'm trying everything.
It's
Like,
not in German. What are you
Listen.
thinking?
there's been weirder words on this thing
It,
that have
they're,
worked.
they're not just gonna put foreign languages in it. It would be impossible to get anything.
Never know.
Oh my god.
I got 2 letters on my third guess.
Oh, that's not bad. That's a lot better position than I was in.
I have one letter in the right place and another letter in the wrong place after my first guess.
Do you guys ever try to like fill out what you have in place?
And then
And
like
then, like,
see, like, does that make
yep.
sense?
Yeah, always. Yeah.
Oh,
Man.
I can totally get this. Like this is just like I can see it. I can see it happening.
Hmm.
I'm really bad at Wordle though. Like I'm not good at it, which is kind of the problem.
This is a tough one. This is a tough one.
Yeah. Well, because have you guys ever played the New York Times crossword puzzle?
I was doing a crossword this weekend, and it was one of the most challenging things I've ever done.
Mhm. That was Wordle before Wordle. The New York Times
Exactly.
crossword. At least in my high school, like there was a club for the New York Times crossword, and it was like every day people would like post their times for like how long it took them to get the crossword done. And now it's like the same thing with Wordle. It's like, yeah, they just like add the share button, and it's like, yeah, you can just send it to your
Yeah,
friends.
share your board.
You not get it?
Oh my
I
god,
got
I
it. 5 attempts.
still have
5
3 words,
attempts.
but 2 of them are in the right spot now. I think I got it.
There we go.
Well, so
Oh,
now
I'm-
while I'm done and I can talk freely because I'm a beast.
I'm a beast.
Actually, I thought about this. I thought about the word like an attempt before I put it in, like,
Yeah.
but I spelled it wrong, so I didn't think I had enough letters, and I did. So, but anyway, I think, like, what do you guys consider a win in World? So I just like to finish the Wordle. Like, I don't really take it too
Yeah.
seriously. Like, I don't like to take so much brain power to try to like guess it in 4 attempts. Like, if I get stuck, I'll just like make up a word with the letters I haven't guessed to try to narrow down my options.
Yeah,
I prefer not to get it in 6, but like some people will just like hyper focus. You got it in 5?
Dude, wait, here, let me I'll send you a screenshot of my guess before I got the word. Like, this happens to me every time.
Honestly, like I'll send a screenshot to everyone too. Like I just really I clutched up.
Not good.
Clutched up right at the end.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
don't send it in the main chat
yeah,
yet.
yep. I forgot that Jacob's not with us.
This is
And
not
Andres
good.
hasn't finished yet. I bailed him out yesterday by accident.
I didn't
By
even know.
accident.
I didn't even know that was a word. Like
Yeah, like
your word before your final guess. Like is that even a word?
I don't know. That always happens to me because I would guess something like that. It's not. I didn't even think it was a word, and then it's 1 letter off, and I'm like, God damn it! Like, what am I supposed to do? Time to play Nerdle.
I'm on my 5th try right now.
Plays Nerdle.
This is not
Nerdle's
good.
fun. I'm undefeated so far.
I am really struggling right now. This is not
Yeah.
good.
Are you not gonna get the word? Uh-oh.
Damn,
I'm in-
this
I
is
have
what
3
happens,
letters.
Andres, when I don't bail you out like yesterday.
You gave me 1 free letter, and that was all I needed.
Exactly.
Oh my god. I will say I am so unbelievably bad at word games. Like it's like embarrassing how bad I am at them. Like I forget what night it was. You guys were like forcing me to play the Wordle.
Oh yeah.
And I just physically could not think of a 5-letter word like
It was
in the
perfect.
dictionary. It was so bad. It was so embarrassing. I was just like, I can't think of a word.
Let's go. 5 tries.
There we go.
Oh my god.
So everyone's on 5 tries.
I had a feeling it was this word too for the longest time, but
No, that's what I'm
Mickey
saying.
Mouse.
Mickey Mouse.
how's that
shut
a
up.
Mickey Mouse? The one yesterday I'll give you was a Mickey Mouse. This one was not though.
Peter, have you gotten it
I
yet?
think you have to throw one of these
I
days
have
because
not
you got a
gotten
Mickey
it
Mouse
yet.
win.
Because I've
Nah,
been trying to
it's your day
talk
one.
mostly.
We're gonna have to give you some leeway here so you can guess, then we can talk about it.
These words these past few days have been rough. They have been rough.
Well,
like
they got. I think they're
yesterday
trying to
was
make it a little
Cynic.
harder.
Cynic was that was a rough one. It took me I think 5 tries for that one. And then what was before Robin? Robin
Oh.
wasn't too bad.
Robin
What is
wasn't
this?
too bad.
Cynic
I have
was
no idea.
They did pleat one day. I didn't even know that was a word. Pleat. Pleat was one of them, but I got that.
Clutched up.
What were they? Let me see if I can look at past Wordles.
I don't even.
I was at a track meet this past weekend, and on our way back, me and one of my friends were doing some old Wordles in the Wordle archive, and like it was like I was so taxed after like 5 Wordles. I was like, I mean, I need a break.
Go. I am so good at Nerdle. Oh my god, that sounds. Can we cut that?
What?
What?
I just said I'm so good at Nerdle, and then I thought about what I just said.
I don't think I get it.
No, like I'm saying.
We're gonna move on. We're
Yeah,
just gonna
never
move
mind.
on.
Never
We'll
mind.
just,
Just
we'll just
move
move
on.
on.
I
I don't know what that was. I don't want to know what it was.
I
Like,
don't
we just-
know, but okay.
I
How's
basically just
everybody
called
doing?
myself a big nerd by saying I'm good at Nerdle.
You are a nerd. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We all are. What are you
That's
talking
true.
about?
I don't.
That is
We're
true.
recording a podcast at 12.
Yeah, we're recording a
Talking playing the
Like-
Wordle.
bro. Like, what are you?
No, we're keeping the washed athlete thing.
Ooga booga.
Ooh.
We're athletes, not nerds. What are you talking about?
We're all bad. That's why we don't do it anymore.
We're actually washed.
On another note, though, the Super Bowl did bring bad commercials, but really cool Marvel trailers.
Oh
Yes.
wait, no. What was the one? The Coinbase one
Yes,
or whatever?
that Coinbase,
Crypto.com. No, no, it
Oh,
wasn't crypto.
I don't
Did
know
you
which one
see-
it was.
No, it was Coinbase. Did you
Coinbase.
scan the QR code that was bouncing around like the
I
Microsoft?
guarantee
code?
Genius.
Everybody
Genius.
did that.
It's
That
That
was
was
so
such a
good.
good
No,
ad.
no, because we would not have scanned the QR code unless my girlfriend was like, "Hey, did you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
consider scanning
Yeah.
the QR code?" It was ridiculous. It was,
In our defense, we were mesmerized by waiting for it to hit the corner.
Yeah.
It was.
we were stupid.
Listen, we can dissect that ad because that is such a genius ad because like we all want that DVD to hit the corner and they did that in their commercial and they had a QR code and it couldn't have been any more in your face of scan the QR code. Like that is a genius commercial.
So smart. It was like I'll always remember that, and I just
That-
could
that's
not.
a
I
good
could not believe that none of us thought to scan the QR
I
code. We were
know,
so
Yeah, we were just
mesmerized.
watching
We just wanted it to hit the corner. We just wanted to hit the corner.
Yeah, then your girlfriend was just like goes up and scans the QR code and was like, "Oh, it's this," and we're like, "Wait, what is it?" And then everybody goes to scan it.
It's genius
It was genius,
because
but
it all takes
otherwise,
one person to get everyone else to do it.
yeah, and otherwise the commercials were pretty mid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nothing great. Yeah.
Like we always, we've been playing a game recently for the last couple of weeks of the football season where we try to like predict the slate of a commercial. So like you go to a TV timeout and there's like 3 or 4 commercials that played, and we do it like we'll predict 3, and if we get it right, then we're cool or something. But like none of us were even close. We didn't even like continue playing because there was none of our predictions. Like I guessed Nissan, FanDuel, and Subway, and not one of them came on during the entirety of Super Bowl. Now, if those companies would like to sponsor the podcast, you're welcome to. Does not take away from what you that you fumbled the bag during the Super Bowl.
You could make
Looking
up
at you,
for
Coinbase. Looking at you.
it. You could absolutely
But-
make up for it.
But yeah, no, like Nissan, just please. Anyway, I need a car. But like, but no, it was just the commercials were a little
Underwhelming.
lackluster. There were some funny ones though. There were some
There
funny
were some
ones.
funny ones.
Yeah,
But I mean, I feel like that's always the case.
But like they weren't even like because sometimes like usually during the Super Bowl there's always like 1 or 2 commercials that like are like legit good commercials. But like there weren't really any like standout ones. Like maybe there was the one like Netflix commercial that we all liked where it was like, "Oh, like that was a cool commercial." Cuz like first of all, I don't think I've ever actually seen a commercial for Netflix like ever.
Yeah.
But it was that one and what was the car company? It was like the electric car company.
Oh,
that we
yeah.
all-
Polestar, if you want to sponsor the podcast, please. I'm your biggest fan
Up and
now.
coming car company,
Polestar,
up and coming
please.
podcast. Kind of meant to be.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, Polestar was cool because like the way they did the editing, they really like showed how cool their car was, and I was like, we had never like no one ever really had heard of this electric company before. I was like, damn, like okay, I can see, I see you.
We're gonna ignore
Um,
the Jersey ad that was on there. That was a pretty good ad. I mean, considering we're from Jersey, but
Wait.
I didn't even.
What?
It
I
wasn't a
don't
Jersey.
know.
It wasn't a
I don't
Jersey
know
ad.
how-
I
For
mean, it wasn't an
Jersey.
ad for Jersey, but they were driving through Jersey. I guess that
Oh,
was
yeah.
cool.
Repping Newark.
Exactly.
Wasn't it like what was it for again?
Ah, I
I
forget
think
what
it was-
car it was.
It was a
Chevy.
car. No,
think
it was like
Chevy.
a plug-in car.
I think it was
like
Chevy.
that.
I think it was Chevy.
Because wasn't part of the meme where it was like they plugged in their car into like one of the charging stations, and then someone actually went to where it was in New Jersey, and there wasn't a charging station there.
Yeah, it was
That's
just
funny.
CGI.
Wasn't that a thing?
Mhm.
I feel like that was a thing. I don't know. Maybe it's
The,
misremembering this,
the
but
LeBron de-aging CGI.
Oh my,
man.
that was so uncomfortable. Sports Center posted that on their Instagram and they were like, this CGI is incredible. It's like, that made me so uncomfortable.
That was
it was
bad.
so bad.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, it's Justin, post-recording, and I just wanted to say that our recording software died. So this cut right here is going to seem a little bit awkward, but we appreciate you sticking with us, and right now we're just talking about Moon Knight. So enjoy the rest of the episode, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you.
Have the
Night.
Everyone, to the recent break, as we were talking about Day and Night and the Moon
My
Knight
Kid Cudi in
trailer,
the Moon Knight trailer, yeah.
our recording software decided to just die on us. So they will not be sponsoring the Washed Athlete podcast. But
Damn it,
what would
Craig.
be cool would be if Marvel Studios sponsored the Washed Athlete podcast. So Peter, go back to your point about the Moon Knight trailer.
Well, yeah, if Marvel wants to sponsor me and get me in there as not the one of the alternate Spider-Mans, Scarlet Spider, I'll take that. I'll be that role. Anyway, yeah, loved the edit of Day and Night by Kid Cudi in the background of that. And also because obviously I am a aggressive fanboy of the Marvel Netflix shows like Daredevil, Punisher, Defenders, all those. It was giving me a lot of those vibes because it seemed like they were taking some darker themes to it. Like they were tackling some like heavier stuff where he's like dealing with, I think it's that he's dealing with multiple personality disorder. I think is like what they're going
Yeah,
for,
I think that's the point. Yeah.
which is like it's obviously a darker theme. And there's also one of the shots is him beating the crap out of a dude who is clearly unconscious and he is just wailing on this guy. It's like, oh, this is gonna be a darker show. Which it's not like I don't just like love all the time where it's like they're dark just for the sake of like, oh, look how brutal this is. It's like if there's like a meaning behind it where it's like, yeah, he's supposed to be this like very introverted, like normal guy, whatever. But then when Moon Knight comes out, it's like he is a very violent vigilante. Like that's a really cool dynamic.
Yeah, I think the trailer is really cool. Both came out. I mean, we talked about this a little bit yesterday. I don't like all the speculation that comes in with certain, like with the Doctor Strange trailer. I think like all the theory videos and whatnot. It's just like I just don't like it. Like I want to like see a trailer, be hype, go to the theater, and not have a million other people being like, "Oh, should I see this? Oh my god, do you think this person's gonna show up?" So like the Moon Knight trailer is just like a dope trailer that I got to watch, enjoy, and now I just get to wait for the show to come out. Whereas now I'm like, I feel like I have to hear everyone speculate about Doctor Strange, where I don't want to speculate about Doctor Strange. I just want to enjoy it for what it is.
If you
But the thing
say
is, with this kind of movie, like there's like that's a given. There has to be speculation. It's a multiverse. Like
Or we can just
that's a
wait 3
given.
months for the movie to come out and not like worry about
No,
it.
when they have a teaser of a bald head and they show that in a frame, like obviously there's gonna be speculation. Like like there's no way around it.
well, I think that was like implying where it's like they're not like it's not like an official reveal, but like everybody knows who that is. But
Right.
but I think what Justin's talking about is how like people are analyzing every single like shard of glass and saying like what character it is because like there is a Captain Britain one that's like
Yeah,
a very
it's in-
obvious one.
It's in the poster for the movie.
Have you guys seen the ones where people think they found no, not Daredevil, Deadpool? It is
No, I've not.
No, I've
it
not seen
is
that.
They are-
wild.
they're
It is
stretching.
like 2 dots on a piece of glass, and they're like Daredevil, or I keep saying Daredevil. Deadpool confirmed. I'm like, literally, how would they do that? Like, I have a feeling like maybe like a post credit scene, or like he's like there for like a half second, but it's like, why would they put that in the poster?
Yeah.
Like, why? Like,
That's
that is
funny.
such a
No.
big reveal.
Justin, I agree with you like on like some of those outlandish ones like Deadpool, but like I think like with like Professor X, like I think that's just bound to happen. There's no way avoiding that. Like that's just part of it.
Well, I think it is like a kind of a it needs to be from both parties. Like Marvel needs to. I mean, I know why they do it, but like Marvel needs to like maybe not put a lot of stuff in their trailers and their teasers that are like going to make people speculate. Cause I think it's one of those things where like they make more money because of it and they get more attention, but it doesn't make the movie going and entertainment experience better. Like I don't know if that makes sense, but it's kind of like I don't think basketball is better because like they like the 3-point shot is a big deal, and they play faster. I'm not sure the game of basketball is better because of it, but they do it because it's more flashy and like turns more heads. I didn't really have time to like iron out that analogy, but like something
I see
along
where
those
you're going
lines.
with that.
Yeah, like I don't
Yeah.
think the movie industry and the Marvel movies are better because of these like ridiculous teasers, but also the people who do these theory videos just go off the rails sometimes, and it's like it just creates so much speculation. And I know like Marvel completely flipped a 180 on all of us during WandaVision with those reveals, but like part of that was self-inflicted. Everyone is Mephisto type
Oh,
stuff, and then when Mephisto didn't show up, people got all upset, and like yeah, Marvel kind of like teased us the wrong way, but it was almost like their way of being like stop speculating,
I think
just be excited.
But
that was the Dean
also,
Boner joke. Yeah.
yeah. But also, the thing is, like, with that, it's not that they want
It's
to make
Ralph
it
Boner.
better per se. It's that they wanted their like projects to be talked about, and with speculation, they get talked about, and they get more attention, and then yeah, more people want to see the movie. So it's just from a like financial standpoint, it's smart. It's to
Yeah.
build up hype. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's not to make
It's
it better.
the
per
hype
se.
train keeps going whether you like it or not.
Exactly.
I know,
It's
yeah.
gonna
Real
keep going.
I don't disagree with you. I just think like on that premise, like why the studio does it, like it makes a lot of sense why they do it. It's just
Yeah.
I just don't think it makes the film itself better because everyone's gonna do a ton of research.
Yeah.
And it's just like not gonna be like we overanalyze these things so much that like it wasn't a secret that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield were showing up in the Spider-Man movie, and it would have been so cool if no one speculated, if no one thought they were gonna come back, and then all of a sudden they walked out of a portal. It would have been nuts if no one knew about it. But instead, we speculated and we ruined a moment that could have probably torn down a lot of movie theaters.
Yeah, that was my whole thing with when people like say that Spider-Man No Way Home was better than Endgame, whatever, like that payoff. Like I could see the argument if not every single human being that knows like maybe like a little bit about Marvel knew going in like, oh yeah, the three Spider-Men are going to be in this movie. Like if you didn't know that before you went into the movie, like that payoff would have been absurd. Like that would have been so unbelievably cool. But everybody that knew anything about Marvel knew that all of them were going to be in it. So it's just like the reveals were still amazing. It's just like, damn, I really wish we didn't know that before we went
Yeah.
into this. Tough, but so we got to deal with on this really crappy timeline. So
Yeah, like I'm just going in with no expectation, honestly. Like I'm just feeling like just like Spider-Man, like on the way there, Andres is just like, yeah, like I'm trying to keep no expectations, but I have so much riding on this right now, and I'm like,
Yeah, I have expectations. Like there's no, I
that's
can't help it. I
and
can't
just like
help it.
Justin did say, it's kind of self-inflicted because you were talking about the three Spider-Men showing up.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say? Like I have expectations with it when you have a trailer like that. That's bound to happen.
They
I
did show
can't.
the other Spider-Men in the trailer.
No, but
Mhm.
I'm saying for like Strange, like I have expectations with that, and then like there's like they didn't have to show it in the trailer for Spider-Man. Like it's just like some like they have the villains. Like it's you can infer that, and you just got expectations off that. Like I don't know what you want me to say.
yeah, well,
Can't really
I
do much.
yeah,
so we got
Preference.
I just think it's like it like it just creates this like cycle where it's like I don't want to speculate, but I really just want to like talk about what I saw in the trailer. I think it's really shared my excitement with everyone. But it's almost like if you don't start to theorize and listen to theory videos, and you're now out of the loop on it. So
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I just don't think it's making the MCU experience better because this turned into way too much speculation, and speculation just speculation never works out. Like when you speculate, you're just like you're making assumptions on things that are going to happen, and like
setting
we
your
were
expectations.
yeah, you were setting your expectations, like trying to like say like trying to predict something that's going to happen when really the people who are recording know what's going to happen. Like they're all talking about how like in the comics, like the Illuminati or whatever, like it was going on with that. It doesn't even seem like the same team. Like they were talking about like how like Iron Man and Black Panther are part of it. They're dead. Like, so I don't know how this is like the Illuminati when like two of the main members are dead. But like,
yeah, they're just slapping the name on it, being
yeah,
like, all right,
they're
we're gonna
like
put literally any characters in there though.
they're like, you know what, we can do Illuminati, and then that's what they go for.
Then
So
they just like reach into the grab bag. They're like, all right, what characters haven't we used yet? And just like, all right, let's see.
Matt Murdock in
Matt
Spider-Man.
Murdock is part of the
Boom.
Illuminati. Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
Can we
Ugh.
grab for Hawkeye? Wilson Fisk.
Fisk.
We can throw him in 2 episodes. Woo!
Yeah, we could throw him in at the end of like one episode for 30 seconds and then kill him off, apparently.
They did him so dirty.
You gonna tease
He's
Reed
not
Richards in WandaVision? Hell yeah, we are. Or are we gonna use it now?
If Mephisto isn't in the next Doctor Strange,
Shut
I'm gonna lose it.
If he is, I'm leaving. If I have to hear about Mephisto one more time, I'm going to punch a hole through the screen in the movie theater. Like, I don't want to hear about him anymore. Like, everything, like every single detail during WandaVision, it was like, oh my god, it's Mephisto. It's like, I literally don't care at all. Like, cool, it's a character. Who cares? Like,
it's Mephisto.
It's Mephisto.
ugh.
It's Mephisto.
I'm hyped for these projects, man. I'm
hyped
like
too.
Moon Knight. I think it's gonna be sick. I can't wait for
Looks
that.
dope.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm more hyped than most people. It's just, I have to say what I'm seeing.
Mhm.
I don't always like what I'm seeing in terms of like the speculation. Like I'm over it. I just want to enjoy.
Yeah.
And there's always so much other content out. Like I don't know why I'm more like why people are theorizing about something like this when like there's other content that is out right now or being pushed out that's really good.
Yeah.
Like Encanto, I mean Encanto's getting a lot of hype, but Encanto is
my
out right
God.
now. Encanto's out right now. Book of Boba Fett just wrapped up. 2 trailers for the MCU dropped, but it's like we're only focusing on theorizing for one specific trailer, even though Euphoria is out, which is like
Yeah.
we can focus on all of that. It's so much
No.
better because we're not theorizing. We're actually just like making opinions on what has already been produced
On things that
versus-
are real.
on things that are real and tangible. And instead we're like, nah, this is gonna happen. And
Or my
Doctor
favorite is when
Strange-
people get upset when when their theories are wrong and they like base their opinion of something based on whether or not like
Yes.
something that they speculated
Yeah,
on
that is
like
something
happens
that-
or not. It's like
Yeah, nah,
what,
you don't do that.
What do you mean? Like
Yeah, you don't do
how
that.
are you? It's like, oh well, like this person didn't show up, so like I don't like the thing. It's like, well, who said that was going to happen? It didn't
Exactly.
like there was nothing in the movie. Like if they were going to show up in the movie, they would have set it up. Like that's the point.
There's
Like the-
precisely no reason for you to think that way.
The thing with
All-
theories, like, it depends on what kind of fan you are, and like, I think it's just for me personally, like, I do it just to make the wait like bearable, and it's just fun. Like, I don't base my opinion after watching something
Yeah.
just because my theory is proved wrong. Like, I just do it for fun. Like, it makes the wait more bearable.
All I'm waiting for is a Mace Windu reveal in Star Wars. That's all I want.
Oh, I would lose it. I would.
That's
lose
all
it.
I
Oh
want.
yeah, when Andre said the Kenobi trailer was on lock for the
Yeah.
Super Bowl,
I just
never
wanted to see
happened.
Oh,
Kenobi.
so on lock. I was so
The
excited.
Kenobi trailer.
Yo, when we're
Never
editing this later, can we insert the mall clip where he's like, "I was expecting Kenobi" or something like that when the Siege of Mandalore.
Oh yeah,
When it-
yeah.
when it
I,
started,
I've seen that
expecting
meme.
He's like,
Yeah.
Kenobi.
Yeah, when the
Me watching the Super Bowl commercials.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Kenobi!
Okay, I just went deaf.
yeah, that was loud. No, Orange Gatorade and Kenobi were apparently locks for the Super
Oh yeah,
Bowl.
apparently they
and,
were locks.
And
Dude,
we got Blue Gatorade and Moon
Blue
Knight.
back to back who could have seen that coming? Because blue is usually never the flavor, and it's back to back. That's nuts.
The
was
fact
so
that you've like the fact that you're so passionate about the
You're
fact that
0 for
blue,
2 on your locks
I
for the
was.
Super Bowl.
Well,
Although granted, I was 0 for 1. I said Tails was a lock.
not as down bad as
That-
Jake,
I
that
was
is-
so
That
bad.
is the biggest. That's like the biggest one because tails never fails. And that one
Dude.
time, there was one time it was me, Peter, Raj, and Peter kept flipping a coin, and he got tails like 8 times in a row, and we didn't get heads once.
God, I was so mad. And then of course literally everybody on Twitter just immediately goes like, "Oh, because what was it, Billie Jean?" And everyone's like, "She's not an official referee, it doesn't count." Have them redo it. God.
No, Jacob's lock of the Super Bowl, since he wasn't here, I'll just like laugh at him for it, was that the Bengals punter would punt the ball through the end zone so there would be a touchback. And not one time during that game did the he quote
That's unlucky.
Jacob quote said, "There's no way it doesn't happen. That would be crazy if it didn't happen." And it never happened. It wasn't even like not even remotely close. Not a ball down at the one.
It was like the closest it ever came was there was like one shot where it's like, okay, they're on like the 40. Maybe this will happen. And he punts it to like the 23 and it's fair on immediately. It's like, oh, it's not happening.
Oh,
So
man.
I think the closest like the Rams were ever to their own end zone besides like opening kickoffs like off of punts was like the 25.
Yeah, I think it was the 23. I think that was the closest they ever were.
Which is not close at all. And but
Yeah.
it was a lock, like orange like orange Gatorade and the Kenobi trailer.
Yeah.
And tails.
And tails.
Okay.
Dude, that parlay was, if we had all of those on the parlay, we would have been screwed.
Oh, don't forget about Matt Gay making a field goal in the first quarter. Jacob said that was a lot too.
Yeah, he did.
Matt
It's like-
Gay was a lock, obviously. He drilled one in the first quarter.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, that was an extra point.
Yeah, I'm joking. He didn't hit a field goal.
Yeah.
But it was a lock.
I was bullying Jacob so much when he was like, dude, it's a lock. He's getting a field goal. And he lines up for the extra point. And I'm like, hey, look, he's doing it.
Because it's the reasoning. It's the, well, of course, it's just going to happen. Like, that would be crazy if it didn't happen.
And it's like, oh, well, you're going to eat those words.
Didn't.
Imagine we just had a parlay with all of those locks.
Just
We just had a
none.
winless parlay or just no like unlocked locks. Like
Yeah. Bro, it's like, what's that lockpicking lawyer on YouTube or whatever?
Yeah.
Where he just like comes and he's like, so this is apparently the anti pick lock, and it's advertised. It's like no one could do it. He does it in like 10 seconds. It's just like, oh well, guess again.
Yeah, it'd just be rough out here with these predictions. Like, every time you get passionate, it just doesn't happen. Did we ever figure out if the national anthem was over or under?
It was
I
over.
think it hit the
over.
over. Which
It
that
was
I
over.
did say that was a lock. That is one
maybe
thing I
that's one.
said.
We'll hang
That's
our hats on one.
We got one. We got
We
one.
got one. We're like 1 for 6.
I'll
I mean,
take
we
it.
also hit one of the bad prop bets we were making about injuries.
Okay, that
Oh,
was so
yeah.
unfortunate. We
called it.
I-
I
I-
hammered the over.
no, 'cause I
hammered the
said-
over.
I set the line. I was
Jokingly.
like 0.5 ACL
ACL
tears.
tears.
Well,
Over
so
under.
yeah, jokingly, no one was serious.
No, yeah.
We were like, oh my god, like someone's gonna get hurt, and it's like, oh, and then Andres jokingly goes, yeah, over under 0.5 ACL tears, and we were all like, oh, hammer the over, and then like a couple plays later,
It hadn't even been like 5
Odell,
minutes.
and it's like, no, but
So
we blame
bad,
Drake
bro.
for that. We're
Yeah, that's the
blaming
Drake.
That is
Drake
all
for that
Drake
one.
because
We're blaming
The
Drake
Drake
for
curse,
that.
nothing like you just can't beat the Drake curse.
You're
He
blaming
had
the
all
Drake
these bets on
curse.
Odell, like doing all these things, and
Because
look,
he
look what happened.
bet Odell over 62.5, and in like the first quarter he had like 52. So it was like, oh, he's got this. He's already got a touchdown. He looks incredible. I was even saying I have a feeling Odell is going to pop off this game, and then of course Drake had to place that bet, and then Odell's ACL is just like, oh wait, Drake made a bet. Let me just explode.
That's all on you, Drizzy. It's all on you.
All Drake's fault. It's that Drake curse is undefeated. I
It
think
is
it literally
undefeated.
is.
Except, yeah, wait, no, well, the Rams.
I
did
think it's
win.
been broken like once. Yeah, I think it's been broken like a couple times, but like it's like 2 to 35. Like it's really not close. Yeah. Screw you, Drake.
Drake just doesn't get it. Just doesn't get it. Has Drake performed in a Super Bowl?
No.
No.
Interesting.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that could be. That could
How
be-
have
It's-
like Drake,
This is so full circle right now.
Kanye, like
Yeah.
Well,
How-
Kanye's currently
Well,
About
Kanye.
Kanye. Well,
Yeah.
let's talk about Kanye.
My God, like
Raj,
I.
what-
Oh, no, yeah,
Kanye's on his
Raj, yeah.
Andre says it's Kanye's little pre-album hype.
It's
I
not
think
even
he's just
that-
I think he's just
No,
losing it,
he
dude.
always
Well,
does
explain what's going on.
Kanye does.
So
his album.
basically, Kanye and Kim are going through a divorce, and my man Pete Davidson over
Rip.
here manages to bag Kim. So now we have Kanye and this little like beef on all his social medias where he's just posting the most cryptic and randomest things and like talking about like Kim and Pete and like he's like posting texts between him and, like other people, and it's just he's just going a little insane right now. I think he's off his meds, honestly, once again. But
He does before every album, like because
okay,
like,
but still, dude, you got
you
there's a line at a point where it's
No.
like he's doing it for attention and hype, or he's
That's-
actually just losing it.
no, it's for attention and hype. Like trust me, he did. Like do you not remember back? I think it was 2018 before Ye, where he disappeared for like weeks in like his like farmhouse in Wisconsin. Like he just went off the grid. Like
Oh.
he
That's
does-
different than threatening another person and posting text with your ex-wife.
Well, he's not
This-
actually. He's not like doing legit threats. He's doing this. He's not going to act on anything. He's doing this. He wants to gain as much attention.
I
as possible.
mean,
His album
nothing's
drops
impossible with Kanye.
in legit. I think it's exactly a week now.
So it's dropping in about a year or so.
It's
Okay.
exactly a week. Yeah.
Yeah,
It-
honestly,
it-
I will be stunned if this album comes out on time. There's no
Yeah.
way.
I
Didn't we have
think
to
he
wait like
forgot
a
to put 20
month?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to say 2023, not 2022.
I think it's
Yeah,
probably
that
what it
sounds
is,
right.
yeah.
But
Or it's yeah. Just
Yeah, but can we talk about what he was wearing? Why
That
would
mask?
you show to the Super Bowl wearing a ski
trash
mask
bag
that
with
had
holes in it.
yeah, like you can't
Imagine
do the
paying
game.
$50,000 just to watch the game through like 3 eye holes.
Like Antonio
Yeah.
Brown's probably like live calling the game for him.
Dude, I'm just waiting for an AB Kanye collab on that album. Pit Not the
So
Palace
help me
remix.
and not the
God.
Palace
Featuring-
remix.
Kanye and AB.
Like, during
Yeah.
the halftime show, Antonio Brown's like, "Yo, Kanye, right now, like, Big Sean's on stage. Oh my god." And they're like, "Yo, Snoop Dogg, 50 cents and hanging upside down."
Yo. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, like, I really I love Kanye's music. I do think he's nuts, but I also
think
feel like
he's crazy.
that's kind of just like part of like being an artist. I feel like at a certain point, like you have to be a little bit nuts to be a good artist. Like I don't know why that's a thing, but like it just is. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I still
Unwritten rule.
believe that Kanye's slowly going over that line, and he might be losing a
He's been over
little
that
bit
line.
too
Yeah.
much.
He's been over that line. I
he's
think
been over that line.
Without
for
a
a
doubt, he's
while.
crazy, but with that, he's also a genius. Because, like, there was also the one where he said he hates Stormy, who's a baby, and then he dropped an album
Yeah,
right
that was so funny. That tweet is incredible. That is all time.
He
It's
does
like
all these things before his album drops. It's tradition. He always does it.
it's like the person who said they hated Brittany Mahomes
Oh,
and
yeah.
Patrick Mahomes and Skylar Mahomes. Who's
Yo,
the baby.
I can't explain how much I hate all these three. Yo, dude, you got beef with a
Beef with a
baby?
whole-
Yeah.
That's a baby, dude. That child doesn't know what colors are yet, and you have beef with it. Like, what are you even talking about?
You know what? All I care about is Jackson and Brittany Mahomes were not at the Super Bowl.
Oh, thank
That,
God.
that was the highlight of the Super Bowl. Them not being there.
Them not
Like,
being
that
there.
made it so much more enjoyable to watch.
Oh, God. I couldn't
Alright.
even imagine.
All right, before we head out, I need one prediction right on the spot. Who is winning the NFL Super Bowl next year?
The Philadelphia Eagles.
Buffalo Bills. Say the
Ooh.
Giants. Do it, Andres. Say the Giants. Do it. Say the Giants.
First
That would
overall
be-
pick.
that would be really
Actually,
good.
no. Hot
I
take right
can't.
here. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Dude, shut up.
Now you know
Like,
I'm gonna go with. Okay, this is interesting. All right. You know what? I'm gonna lock this in right now. I don't know why. The Niners.
No, I was gonna say the Niners my sleeper pick.
I'm
you
going
gotta
Niners.
choose another one.
I'm going
No, well,
Niners.
So I was gonna go. Kansas City was like my, like I would bet money on them to win.
Yeah.
But the Niners are like the.
The dark horse.
I'm
I
going
don't think
Niners.
they're really
I
a
was
They're
dark
not even a
horse.
dark horse anymore.
Not even a
No,
dark
they're not a dark
now.
horse, but they're
Like,
they're
people
my
know
like
they're good.
the NFC
Yeah.
just could be really stacked, especially like they lost Tom Brady, but if the Bucks get an actual quarterback, they're still going to be really good.
Rogers to the
The
Bucs.
Cowboys will probably be good. I think the Green Bay Packers
Rodgers is
thing.
not
Aaron,
winning the Bucks.
What?
Rodgers is staying in Green
Yeah. So
It's
I
not
mean, the
close.
NFC is still going to be really good next year. The Rams are going to run it back as much as possible. So the NFC is going to be stacked. So it's kind of hard to be like, yeah, the 49ers are going to get out of the NFC because it's stacked. I mean, the AFC is also kind of stacked, but like, I don't think the Bengals are going to be that good next year. I mean, I think they'll be good, but I don't think they're going to be like what
Unless they
happened in the
fix their
playoffs.
line.
Yeah, if they fix their
Yeah.
O-line and get rid of Eli Apple, or like, maybe.
You mean burnt toast?
Yeah, burnt toast.
You
Like
know,
Eli, he's not a bad corner. It's just the bad publicity he brings to the team. Just get rid of him at this point.
Toxic. Get him out.
Exactly.
So who you go? So you're going with the 49ers, Justin?
well, yeah, I'll go with the 49ers.
Let's ride that wave. Ride that wave with me.
I still think the Eagles. I got to ride with that team.
I
Go
think
Birds.
it'll be a Chiefs
Okay.
49ers Super Bowl, and I'll take the 49ers to win just because.
I'm going Niners.
I think if the Bills are able to figure out their run game and get a pass rush going, they are going to be unstoppable. Like genuinely.
I
Because
think
I
it's
think that they're gonna
Mhm.
figure it out. I think they're gonna figure it out, even though the Giants did steal their offensive coordinator, which I was really happy about. But I think they're gonna be fine. I think they're just like they're such a well built team that like they'll be able to do it.
Lions Jaguars Super Bowl, locking it in.
Lock it in. Yeah.
And
Oh,
on that
yeah.
note, we hope you all enjoyed the
Yeah,
seventh
good night.
episode of the Watch Athlete Podcast. A chaotic one, but a fun one.
Gotta do more podcasts
Seven.
after dark.
Yeah, more
Seven.
to never know what bust out Kanye, Super Bowl. Who knows?
God.
Seven.
All right, so I will see you guys next week.
See ya.
Stop saying 7.
Oh, Bengals.